everyone, welcome to Pandas in Python series. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning about series and data frames in Pandas. So let's go. Firstly, let's start with series in Pandas. So for this, let me create a list of numbers which is 10, 20 and 30. Now I'll import my Pandas library. So I'll write import pandas as pd. To convert this list of numbers into series, we will write pd.series function over here. So in pd.series, if I write numbers, now we can see that this list is now converted to a pandas series, and we can see that each and every single element, which is 10, 20 and 30, has now got an index associated with it, which is 0, 1 and 2. Similarly, we can also see that all the elements are of the same data type, which is int64. So let's save it in a new variable called number series, and let's run it. And if we check the D type of it, we can see that it's int64. Similarly, series are useful to do any kind of multiplication. So if we do the number series plus 10, we can see that for each and every single element, which is 10, 20 and 30, then 10 has been added to it. Similarly, in the series, we can also do multiplication as well. So let's say number series multiplied by 10. So every single element is multiplied by 10. And similarly, we can do subtraction as well as division or some further complex calculations. Now, in series, we notice that each and every single element has been associated an index, which is like the position of that element. So for this, we can also change the index. To do this thing, we can write, let's say pd.series, pd.series numbers. And while creating the series, I can specify the index parameter. That is, index is equals to, suppose instead of 0, 1 and 2, I want the index to be 1, 2 and 3. So over here, I'll supply this list. And now let me save it in a variable called b. And if we print b, we can notice that now the indexing for b is starting from 1 and not 0, because we have specified our index over here. Now let's talk about what are data frames in Pandas. A data frame is nothing but like a data set which has got rows and columns. It's just like a matrix but slightly different. Let's take an example. Firstly, let me create a dictionary over here. So let me call it my dictionary. So over here we have got our dictionary which has got two keys, which is names and salaries of each and every single employee. So let's say Charlie has a salary 56,000, John has a salary 65,000, Elizabeth has a salary of 80,000. So we have this dictionary now. Now to create this data frame, we will write something like pd.dataframe, where in data frame we have D and F as capitals, and I'll write the name of a dictionary. Let me save it in a variable called C. And if we print C, then we can see that there are 3 rows, that is one for Charlie, one for John, one for Elizabeth, and we have got 2 columns. That the first column is name and second column is salary. Similarly, for each and every single row, we have got an index starting from 0. Now, to check the data type of each and every single column, we will write c.dtypes. If we run this command, then we can see the data type of each and every single column in a data frame. That is because name column has got only text variable, that's why the data type is object. Similarly, salary column has got numbers, that's why its data type is int64. Now, sometimes we can be dealing with big data sets. So for this, we can check this shape, that is the number of rows in column in the data frame. So for this, let me write c.shape, and if we run it, we get a tuple which is 3, 2, where the first number indicates that it's the number of rows and the second number indicates it's the number of columns. To retrieve the number of columns or number of rows specifically, we can write something like c.shape square bracket 0, because 0th is like the first element of this tuple, right? So it will return us the number of rows. So if we run it, we can see it has returned us 3. So let's write it as number of rows. Similarly, to get number of columns, instead of 0, we will write 1. and it will give us number of columns. So here we can see that there are 2 columns in this data frame. So that was all about series and data frames in Pandas. Stay tuned for upcoming content on Pandas and Python series. Until then, see you soon.